What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 21 of my Major League Wrestling save on Total Extreme Wrestling. Or sorry, episode 21, I can't believe it, man. So, last week on Fusion we got a 53 rating. Of course, the main story being Vampiro has disappeared from Cesar Duran's control by the looks of it. Was he ever possessed? I don't know. Obviously, Tom Lawler went to a double DQ with Hammerstone. So Green Phantom picked up a win against Mickey Knuckles. Please, guys, go back and watch the previous videos if you actually want to know what's been going on. Excuse me. Stuff like that. So, aye. We're doing well so far. But as you can see, we're still in debt. I don't know whether I should edit that to give us more money, because I'm quite worried about what's going to happen. I don't know if the company goes out of business or what. I don't know what happens. I don't know how the game works with that, but I'm actually thinking about, editing it so I can get more money. Which is, yeah, you get the idea, don't you? So, aye. Really happy. But the thing is here as well is that we've actually got a match set up for War Chamber, and it's going to be Mr. Thomas versus Alex Kane. But the thing is that Mr. Thomas's contract runs out in a couple of days, so it's very important that I try and give him a new contract in some way or another to get him ready for the show. So yeah. Tenelli Dashwood, her contract expires tomorrow. She's only been brought in for one night just to, continue Soraya's kind of run up the ladder, basically. Am I saying that right? Tenelli Dashwood? Tenelli, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, let's just get right into it. So today's video will be another Fusion, which is good. As you can see, War Chamber is the next pay-per-view, which is 11th of April. So we'll have this Fusion and one more Fusion before the show starts. We really need to start putting some more matches together for the show. Obviously the main match will be Mil Muertes versus an opponent he sees Vince Russo's choosing, to see if who gets control of Vito. Cesar Duran obviously has control of Vito. So yeah, that's what. Anyway, you get the idea. Please watch the previous videos. Yeah, so yeah, watch the previous videos and we'll see what happens. But let's just go into the next show. Let's go right into it. So we have a pre-show match. Odinson defeats Regido. By submission. And the segment rating got a 44, wrestling 42, and the crowd rating a 12. The hints that Odinson face turn got a poor reaction, as much of the crowd still remember his last turn. So basically, obviously, Odinson was a part of the Monster Corporation, which is now disbanded, basically. So I do want to push Odinson as a top face at some point, so I'm kind of going to try and build him up. So expect to see Odinson getting featured more, even though he's only in the pre-show. I'm just wanting to, but yeah, I think he's going to be a future star for the company, in my opinion. 44 is good for a pre-show match. So then we go to another pre-show match. Giselle Shaw defeated Alice Crowley by submission as well. That got a 35 rating. Commentary lifted the match, colour commentary lifted the match, and Giselle Shaw's getting better at her gimmick. Alice Crowley debuted her Big Al gimmick. It's got an initial rating of adequate, so yeah, pre-show match, it's good. So let's go into the main show. MLW Fusion opens up with a graphic appearing on the screen that says earlier tonight. The camera cuts to the parking lot outside the arena. We see Killer Kross and Scarlett getting out of a black car. They are both holding their title belts. Scarlett walks up to the camera. Well, look at this. We are early. Suddenly we hear clapping. The camera shows Vince Russo clapping. Bravo! Ladies and gentlemen, would you look at this? The MLW World Heavyweight Champion and his championee wife actually showed up to work on time. Scarlett says, are you seriously waiting for us in a parking lot? Cross says, we are here, TikTok. I'm glad you're here, because that means I don't have to change tonight's main event. Tonight, you defend that belt against Wolfgang. Scarlett says, what? You can't just book a title match without giving the champion notice? Russo said, listen Scarlett, I'm the owner. I can book whatever the heck I want. Well, since you arrived early, you have plenty of time to prepare. Cross says, you're not punishing me, you're punishing Wolfgang. Russo says, well, we will see about that. If you have a problem with my decision making, then go and tell Cesar Duran. Oh wait, he has other things to worry about. And then Cross and Scarlett brush past Russo and enter the building as the opening to the show starts. So that got a 35 rating. Just to start the show, that's pretty decent. I'm happy with that, I suppose. So we go to the first match, which always gets good ratings. Women's wrestling seems to get good ratings. Saraya defeated Tenelli Dashwood by pinfall. Obviously I'm having the storyline with Saraya where she lost the featherweight title, and Vince Russo said she has to start from the beginning again, so she's kind of working her way back up the ladder. But yeah, Saraya gets the win, and the creative finish was used and it was a success. The match got the crowd hotter, and it got a segment rating of 64. Can't really argue with that. Then the camera switches to the announce booth where we see Joey Styles and the coach. Styles says, what a huge victory for Saraya tonight. She knew what was at stake and is one step closer to getting a title shot for the featherweight title. The coach then says, I agree, Joey. Saraya has made it clear to Vince Russo that she deserves a shot at winning the belt back, but she has a long way to go. But let's not forget what happened earlier tonight. Killer Kross finally arrived on time and was confronted by Vince Russo, who told him he will defend the World Heavyweight title tonight against Wolfgang. Styles says, then there's the situation with Cesar Duran and Vampiro. The more you think about it, the more stranger it gets. I thought Vampiro was under Cesar Duran's control, but obviously not. Where is Vampiro? We haven't heard anything. The coach then says, I don't think we have seen the last of Vampiro. I think the biggest twist is yet to come. And that got a 41. So, next segment, a decent match. The Outbreak defeated the Bomaye Fight Club when Abel submitted Mr. Thomas after Mr. Thomas and Alex Kane miscommunicated. So what happened basically was Alex Kane hit Mr. Thomas by accident, and it cost him the win. It cost him the match basically. James Mitchell did good work at ringside for the Outbreak. Both the Outbreak were off their game. The match got the crowd hotter. Yeah, okay. So I got a 38. So, this is interesting. The camera cuts to a small interview room inside a secure psychiatric unit. A table sits in the middle of the room with two chairs. Cruel sits on one side. He is wearing a straitjacket. He is totally still. Across from him is a doctor, a male in his late 50s carrying a folder. Doctor says the time is 6:25 p.m. This is an interview with the patient known as Cruel. Is that correct? Cruel just looks down and says, you put me here. The doctor says, do you understand the reason for your admission? There have been several incidents of serious aggression. I'm not interested in judging you. I want to understand you. I would like to talk about your childhood. What was your home like growing up? Small. Who lived there? People. Sorry. The doctor says, your record says you were involved in physical violence from a young age. MLW has provided you where violence is not only permitted, but it's rewarding. Do you think wrestling has made your behaviour worse? Cruel says, MLW didn't make me violent. MLW gave my violence a TV camera. The doctor says, what about Vince Russo? You were handpicked to beat Mil Muertes. You lost that match. How did losing make you feel? Cruel says, angry. The doctor said, is that why you killed that cameraman after the match? Cruel looks straight into the doctor's eyes as the camera fades. So it appears that Cruel killed a cameraman after losing that match. Mental. And now he's been locked up in a psychiatric unit. That got a 29 rating. Oh, I see that the crowd have went up as well. Anyway, never mind that. So everything was good. That a lot of greens there. Then we go backstage. Mr. Thomas is pacing back and forth, frustrated, whilst Alex Kane is casually sitting on a crate. Kane says, listen man, I never meant to hit you. I was trying to catch him and you stepped in at the wrong second. You know I would never do that on purpose. Mr. Thomas says, I know, but it doesn't change what happened. We have been through everything together and had each other's backs, but for years. But at War Chamber, that friendship gets put on hold. Kane says, well, you better be ready for the toughest fight of your career. The two men stare each other down, but fist bump. So it appears the two are still friends, but at War Chamber, they will be enemies. I just hope that I can give Mr. Thomas a new contract. I didn't realise his contract was up in 2 days. I got a 29 rating. Not too good. So, an extremely short match. Tankman defeated Grado by pinfall after a distraction from Martina. So Martina the Moth is debuted. Martina's debuted her slut gimmick. It has gotten an initial rating of adequate. So basically, if anyone here watches JCW, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, you'll know who the ring rat is. So basically, Martina is the ring rat, basically. And she's starting with Tankman. Okay, so that's basically the gimmick that I'm giving her. And I got a 39. Then the camera cuts to the parking lot. We hear frantic shouting as the cameraman rushes to get a better view of what's going on. Hammerstone is seen shouting at Tom Lawler. Hammerstone says, you piece of shit, fucking bring it on, motherfucker, I'm right here. Lawler runs towards Hammerstone and spears him into a bunch of crates. Both men begin throwing hard punches, with security scrambling to try and pull them apart. Lawler though grabs a steel chair and cracks it across Hammerstone's back. Hammerstone barely stays down and rams Lawler into a parked car and smashes the windscreen. The fight gets even more violent. We then hear Vince Russo shout, hey! Vince Russo is seen shouting at both men, along with John Laurinaitis. I can never spell Laurinaitis for some reason. Lawler is then swinging a kendo stick across Hammerstone's ribs. Hammerstone then picks up a trash can and smacks Lawler with it. Security eventually pull both men apart. Russo then says, that's enough. I've had enough of this. You guys hate each other so much. You want to destroy each other so badly. Well, you do it where it matters, at War Chamber. No excuses, no interference, in a steel cage. And I'm raising the stakes, bro. Whoever wins will get a title shot. Wow, that got a 32 rating. So, camera then cuts to the announce table where Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman look shocked. Oh my god! What a brawl that was. Did I hear what I thought I heard? Vince Russo said whoever wins gets a title shot. Does that mean Tom Lawler will now be eligible to face Killer Cross? Coach says that must bring back old memories from your ECW days, Joey. It appears Vince is so pissed off that he's forgotten that Lawler is not allowed another world title shot ever again. Joey says what a night this is becoming. But then the lights go out. I got a 37, the crowd are still very hot. Well, about the Hud Superb Wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Mystico defeated Leon Slater by submission with a La Mystica. The match was designed to revolve around a lot of high spots. Mystico got a 63, Leon Slater 52. The match got a 64. 64 segment rating, that's really good. So, the camera then cuts backstage where we see Saraya and her mother, Sweet Saraya. Saraya says, "Another win and another step closer apparently. I don't even know why I'm having to do this. Vince Russo is wrong about me. I should be granted my bloody rematch instead of having to climb a ladder. I was robbed of my belt. I prove myself each and every week, while Scarlett hides behind my belt and that bitch Freya the Slayer. It's ridiculous. Who am I supposed to be facing next week then?" But then suddenly Sweet Saraya slaps Saraya across the face. Sweet Saraya then said, "Stop acting like a selfish bitch. You want to know who you are facing next week? Me." Saraya said, "Mum?" Sweet Saraya says, "You have become entitled. Prove to me that you're still the best. Next week, it's mother versus daughter, and if you can't beat me, then you may as well fuck off back to Norwich." Wow. Saraya Knight struggled when going off script, but Saraya did some fine improvisation work during the segment. I got a 54. Saraya equals ratings. So, the camera then cuts back to the interview room in the psychiatric unit. Cruel is still being interviewed by the doctor. The doctor says, "Let's talk about the Veron Monster Corporation. Lisa Marie Veron, Tankman, Odinson. What do those names mean to you?" Cruel said, "Monster." "Which one?" "That's what they call themselves." And then Cruel starts laughing. The doctor says, "You find the name amusing? Monsters don't need managers. What do you consider yourself, Cruel?" Cruel then growls and tries to pull out of the straitjacket. The doctor says, "Stop. You are wearing that because you have assaulted 5 members of staff." "Okay, I'm going to finish today's interview." Cruel said, "Some children are scared of the dark. I wanted to know why the dark was afraid of me." The doctor looks scared. The doctor then says, "Interview terminated at 7:15 p.m. So I got a 24, which isn't too good. But yeah, Cruel killed a cameraman. What do you think about that, guys? Do you think that's going a wee bit too far? I don't know. Who cares? So, about the had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, the Coffey brothers defeated Ultra Violence, Martin Stone and Davey Boy Smith, when Joe Coffey pinned Davey Boy Smith Jr. with a discus lariat. And I got a 57. So, a good win for the Coffey brothers. But then, the Coffey brothers successfully defend their tag team titles. They are celebrating in the ring when suddenly they are jumped from behind by Bar Fight. Storm and Dijak beat down on the brothers before exiting the ring laughing. Storm shouts, "We will see you punks at War Chamber." And I got a 43 rating. So there's another match set for War Chamber. So the matches are coming together, guys. The matches are coming together. So, the screen fades to black room. Cesar Duran paces back and forth, clutching his smoking skull. Mil Muertes stands silently behind him, whilst Mystico watches from the shadows holding his middleweight title. Vito is still chained up unconscious. Duran says, "Where is he?" He then slams his hands on a table and candles start flickering. "Vampiro doesn't simply just disappear. Someone took him, or someone helped him escape." Duran then looks at Mil Muertes. Duran says, "This is your fault. I told you to keep an eye on him and Vito. I trusted you." "He was never under your control." Duran says, "How can he fake it all this time? The beatings we gave him. You will make this right at War Chamber. I don't care who Vince Russo's mystery opponent is. You will destroy him because Vito stays with us." Duran then looks into the camera. "Vince, if this is your doing, if you know where Vampiro is, you will pay the price." The candle flickers. I got a 39. No, sorry, a 38. The storyline advanced and gained heat. That's a good thing. So, the camera cuts to inside Vince Russo's office. Vince Russo is sitting at his desk looking at paperwork when suddenly the Green Phantom appears. "You wanted to see me, boss? I'm here to prove I belong in Major League Wrestling. I'm here to impress you." Russo says, "You know what? I was impressed last week. You went out there and you beat Mickey Knuckles, and you showed me you have the guts. That's exactly what I wanted to see, bro. Give me the opportunity to face Mil Muertes at War Chamber. I can be your mystery opponent. I will bring Vito back." "I already have my opponent for Muertes, but if you want to impress me so much, there is a man back there who is extremely pissed off. So tonight, you go one-on-one with Filthy Tom Lawler in a hardcore match." "What?" "Well," Russo says, "well, what? You're the hardcore hero, right?" "Yes, I am. I will prevail and bring justice to MLW." "Whatever, bro. Just get the hell out of here." And that got a 27 rating. The crowd are still very hot. That's good. So, the match is extremely short. Tom Lawler defeated the Green Phantom by submission with a guillotine choke. The Green Phantom and Tom Lawler don't seem to click, and it made for an awkward bout. Okay, that's fine. That will not happen again. That got a 30. So, Lawler beats the Green Phantom. Who would ever think that would happen? Main event time. A bout that had superb wrestling and good heat. Killer Kross defeated Wolfgang by submission with a cross jacket. The match was designed so the wrestlers could go out and try and steal the show. Kross makes defence number 4 at the MLW World Heavyweight title. I also used a creative finish, which was a success. The match got the crowd buzzing. 65, that's really good. I'm really happy with that. Very happy with that. And that was the main event. So, we finished the show with the scene in a dark room. The camera then zooms into a hooded figure sitting on a wooded chair. It is Vampiro. His face is half hidden in the shadows, with his eyes locked directly on the camera. Vampiro says, "Cesar Duran, you've spent a long time making people believe your power is unstoppable, that you control life and death itself, but I know the truth. I know where your power comes from. I know what feeds it, and most importantly, I know what takes it away. You see, when I faked being possessed by you, I saw a lot of things. How could you not control me? Let's just say I know a thing or two when it comes to black magic. At War Chamber, I will strip Cesar Duran of everything. His darkness, his control, and his evil. And when the power is gone, everyone will see Cesar Duran for what he really is. War Chamber is the night the darkness dies." Vampiro blows out the candle as the show goes off the air, and I got a 49. The hints at a Vampiro face turn, God man, the crowd aren't liking all these turns, which I totally get, because there's so many of them I'm making. So, finished the show. 60 rating, that's good. The show increased our popularity in 11 regions. Overall rating is 60. That's one of the best, I think. Let's have a look at the yeah, see, popularity in New England's going up a little. Yeah, okay. That's good. I'm happy. Happy days. I have to say I'm very happy with that, like. So, the feedback from viewers has been awesome. The small company has outshone some of the bigger companies' recent efforts. Jolly good. So yeah, a total of 11,124 viewers. It was shown. Yeah, good stuff. Can't believe I got a 60. That's got to be one of the best I've got yet, man. We'll save it there actually as well. Cesar Duran's contract is ending. Oh, we have somebody dating. Regido and Jessica Roden have started dating. There's the viewing figures. Yeah. Viewers are going up. as you can see, last week's show was 10,008 viewers. This week's 11,000, over 1,000 more views than last week's show, which is phenomenal to me anyway. Oh wait a minute, actually. Oh yeah, it's still going up. It's going up every week, which is really good. Cesar Duran's contract is ending, but he will get a new contract, definitely. So, that'll do us, lads. I'll see you in the next video, which will be another Fusion, and then after that will be War Chamber. So, things seem to be developing well at the moment. We have got a few matches set for War Chamber, and more matches will be made for War Chamber. So, please bear with the channel, guys. Stick with me, and yep, I'll see you in the next video.